Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
And on Buyer's Remorse, we like to subject each other to games we already own. And I delved back into the Ocean bundle for Darren this week, and I had you play
Elf.
Very simply named.
Never heard of it before. Man, that Ocean's bundle is just the gift that keeps giving, man.
It certainly does. So tell us all about Elf.
I had a really bad time with this game. I'm just going to come out and say that straight up. Starts up. Options are from the old days, like the old kind of Roland sound or the internal sound where the music was pumped out from actually inside your keyboard somewhere, like out through the keyboard, like keys or something.
I have no idea what that is. I was not computer gaming in those days.
So we get to the loading screen, no sound. Title screen's there, but there's no sound, nothing. So I couldn't get into the game. Pressed every key. So I do like the whole pressing every single key along the rows. Nothing happens. I think it was the same when I played Pushover. Just it was impossible to begin. You had to press a really weird key, like the right shift key. It was something pretty unintuitive. But anyway, so I exit it. I try again. There's nothing. Push everything again, nothing. Then I start trying like fucking arrow combinations with like shift until I stop and realize that I'm an idiot and there must be like a million billion combinations you could have. I don't know why I'm doing this. So I Google and I find the manual and it says, oh, press the right shift key. Right, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I pressed it already. Go back in again. This is a good 10, 15 minutes already of me just fanning around trying to get this to work. I'm pressing the right shift key. Nothing's happening. I'm like a madman doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I keep on going out, booting it up, going back in, pressing right shift key, which, to be fair, booting it up actually takes longer than downloading this game because it's a whopping 4 megabytes. So still nothing. I'm looking at the clock, man. It's like tick-tock, tick-tock. I go to the Steam forums to find a fix. Nothing. I tried switching off PlayClaw, which I was recording, just to see if that was interfering. Nothing. I tried rebooting the whole thing. Nothing. I tried compatibility modes. Nothing. I tried everything from the Steam pages. So then I go back to Google again, and I start Googling just Elf and Steam and controls or whatever and see what sticks. Elf Steam, one word, is actually a program, so that doesn't help because that's the first thing you find in Google search.
I can't imagine with a simple name like Elf that it also helps either because that will give you loads of things that have nothing to do with this game.
The movie came up quite a lot. Yeah.
Oh, with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, like, I'm 30 minutes in now, man. And, I'm counting this shit as part of our experience. So I find a website called myabandonware.com. And this is like an old-ass game museum that stocks games that are not being published anymore. It feels like kind of legit. It looked like a good site. I'm not sure if it's legal or illegal, but I think it must be legal.
What's it called?
myabandonware.com. I think it's legal because it's got advertising from like GOG have advertised on it, GOG. So I'm pretty sure it's not strictly a piracy site. But they're saying all the kind of typical piracy lines like, oh, don't download this if it's illegal in your country. But it looks like these games are not published anymore. You cannot buy them. They're preserving them. And if that's wrong and that's piracy, then I guess I don't want to be right because I think they should preserve them no matter how bad they are. So anyway, now I'm thinking like, oh, well, I've already purchased this game, so I'm entitled to a working copy of it. So I download it. You can download the file. Download it to the screen. You get the exe file. Still doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work again. And so this time I don't even get to the silent screen. All I get is like this like blue Windows thing saying this is too old to run. So I go back to myabandonware.com. They've got an option to play in the browser.
Yes, because it's so tiny you can do that now.
Yeah. So ta-da! Finally. I didn't even have to buy this game. I could have played it. So I get to play Elf in all its glory. Yeah. So I don't know. Elf is like a roguelike platformer, I suppose. It's basically one of those games. Did you ever see Video Game Nerd? He used to do like these really cool kind of screenshots of games like Silver Surfer where he maps out the paths of all the enemies and shows you like you've got absolutely no chance of surviving because he's like, these things are going in circles like this thing's coming in from this side, this thing's swooping up from behind you. Like there's this tiny little box over here that if you stay in there you can survive. That's what this game is like. There's just tons of shit everywhere trying to murder you.
Even from the beginning.
Straight from the get-go, man. It's like, I think you've got, not even on screen one, you've got stuff flying at you. And it's not like, there doesn't even seem to be a theme, man. It's like, there's guys on magic carpets shooting balls of lightning at you. There's bees, snails, chocolate rabbits. I don't know. There's just so many things flying all over the place.
That takes me back. I sometimes miss the complete randomness of the old platforming games.
Well, then you might like this, and you can pick it up for free. All right, you've got this.
I think I've got this one already.
Yeah, because you did. What was your one you did? You did The Great Escape. Yeah. So yeah, it's a complete casserole of nonsense. Basically, this game just wants to just kill you so much that. Oh yeah, this is the thing. When you die, which is inevitable, you get like a little gravestone marking your kind of point. Your own soul comes out and tries to attack you after you die once. So you come back from the dead to try and kill yourself again. It's kind of unique and funny, but it's like, Christ, I've got enough things trying to kill me. Like, I don't need my own old soul spirit trying to come and kill me as well.
So you'd almost be better off restarting the game.
Yeah. But yeah, so the story, from what I can make of it, is your girlfriend has been captured and taken into this forest, and I'm guessing that's her on the bottom of the screen as the story rolls up. 1991 pixelated side boob style.
Is this the type of game where it starts with a scrolling text?
Yeah. So basically, you die over and over again, kill everything, chocolate bunnies, men on carpets, giant wasps, snails, rats, your own spirit, anything goes. But there's two things you can't kill. One is there's some NPCs in the game, which we'll get to. And the other is... Oh, hang on. No. You can kill the NPCs as well. But you have to do that as an option, like to attack them. Like there comes like this kind of text-based dialogue kind of scrolling option thing where you can pick from different things to do, like talk to them, attack them, trade with them, examine stuff, things like that. And yeah, and then there's also, I think there's a karma system in the game where kill all the bad stuff, that's fine. But then to add into the mix of the whirlwind of enemies that are coming at you from every side, there are also good things that you shouldn't kill.
Like the snails?
Maybe. I kill everything. But then sometimes when you kill something, it's like, it just comes up, shame. And that kind of drops down the page. Right? Well, you threw like 50 enemies at me as soon as the screen loaded and I just shot everything. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's bad karma. And I think that's the whole point of the game is you end up as a good elf or a bad elf. I don't know. I obviously didn't get that far.
You mean you didn't beat it in the 30 minutes you got to play?
I did do quite a lot, but there's a level of depth to this kind of game, though, where it's like, they've definitely put a lot of thought into it. For 1991, though, I'm not sure it was that ahead of its time. Maybe that's just me, nostalgia glasses on, like, oh, it was really good for its time. Probably wasn't. But I did go back and check the reviews of it, like from way back in the day, like Amiga magazines, like, wow, this is like 90%. And it got like basically 80s and 90s, 80 and 90% across the board.
Well, it was a different time. Early 90s were a real mix of people still trying to catch up with what had happened before, and we were not quite into the real... I think what I would say is a real big next transition, which was into the PlayStation era.
I'd say yeah, but 93, 94 was the big kind of turning point, yeah.
So at 91, you still had... I was still able to rent old school Nintendo games very easily, as well as, Super Nintendo, as well as, Genesis. There are a lot of things going on. For me, it didn't really feel like things had kind of become unified until later. So I think that was a thing. I think now with PC gaming, a lot of people are very, very open to a lot of things. And there are people who want to go back and play some of these, let's call them classic games, like Elf. But I think ultimately we do it for a bit, like we're doing, and then go, okay, that was mildly entertaining for a bit, and then jump back into a modern game. But in those days, you took what you could get. You didn't have access to Steam.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Elf comes from, like you said, a different era. Comes from a time where, 1 hour to play a game and get a proper kind of flavor for it was impossible. You had to play Elf, you needed to sit down with it and buy a coffee, pretty much. You need to ask it about its inventory system and all the things you can do with the NPCs, like talk, bribe, attack, like I was saying. You need to take it out for drinks to find out about inspecting the herb system. And then, you need to cook it breakfast in the morning to find out the keywords to talk to any of the NPCs, because, my God, that was frustrating. It's like one of those text-based adventures. I tried everything, man. Everything. To try and talk to someone, and it's just like, they don't understand this, they don't understand this, they don't understand this.
Were you speaking the wrong language?
Obviously, I wasn't speaking Elf. I don't know what the keywords are. Maybe they're in the manual. Maybe they give you a hint, like, you must say these, because I guess it comes from a very simple time where they probably didn't have a lot programmed in. But I mean, shit, I played like The Hobbit and The Pawn and stuff, and they were from before this, and they were easier to interact with, you know? Anyway, I don't know. It did seem pretty deep, though, especially for an Ocean game, that's for sure. Yeah, we had, like, I looked this up. At the time, we had Sonic came out on the Mega Drive, or the Genesis. Another World was out in this year, which beats the pants off this. And A Link to the Past was also out. So Elf was definitely considerably lower budget, but was trying to do this kind of RPG stuff. Problem is, it just fails horribly. By today's standards, at least. It hasn't held up well. Like, not like the other old classic games.
Could you level up your character?
I don't think... No. Yeah, you basically... You go around and you kill stuff. When you kill stuff, they drop loot. You pick up the loot, and if you climb this massive tower... it's not a tower, it's a ladder that just goes up into the sky. There's a cabin at the top, and there's a shop there. You get to trade in all the stuff that you've collected for power-ups. But I didn't even get that far. I found that with like 5 minutes to spare. I was like, oh, there's another level to this game. But yeah, I mean, not to just shit all over it. I can see why it got a good review back in the day. Characters are really well defined. There's no color clash like back in that time, especially on like games like systems like Commodore and Spectrum, where you just have that color clash where a green guy would walk along a red background and it'd just be this. It would turn this green square, basically. I mean, Amigas were obviously much better machines, though.
Well, they obviously made an improvement from The Great Escape, where your hero was the same color as all the villains.
Yeah. I don't know about the upgrades, but yeah, you can buy spells. They obviously help you complete the game. But yeah, I didn't have time I didn't get to experience that in like the 20 minutes I got to play after wading through that sea of finding a fix.
That's fine. You can tell us about the hours and hours you've played it since.
God, no. I think I've deleted it already. Although it only takes like 3 seconds to download it.
Or as you said, it's probably better to not even bother downloading it. Just find a emulator where you can play in your browser.
Just go to, that website.
You couldn't save your game then, could you?
No, it's not. It's not one of those. You start from the beginning every time. You got like 4 lives as well. I think you can buy extra lives, which must be part of the way to win.
But some of the emulators I found, you can actually save your game, which is a huge improvement on some of these games as they were traditionally, because you don't need to spend literally all night trying to play it.
Doing the first level over and over and over again.
Well, not only that, but you can do that, but say, for example, you get through the first level, you don't have to continue playing. Like in the old days where there was no password, if a game was 3 hours, you had to sit down for 3 hours and play. It's one of the beauties of the updates of games or the kind of ports of games, or in this case, emulators, where sometimes you can actually save it without having to play the entire game all the way through. And, if you can get through the first set of levels with all your lives and you can save it, then you can keep starting on level 2 over and over again instead of always having to go through level 1. Now, you don't become the master of level 1 as you used to, but I find this way much more enjoyable. Yeah.
I do remember being the like you said, the master of level 1 where you could do that first level blindfolded. But yeah, so Elf. It's just not good, man. I'm sure this game holds like a place in a lot of people's hearts. Maybe it's a classic. I'd never heard of it because I didn't own an Amiga. I wasn't rich enough to have one of those. I really envied people that had Amigas. Elf or Another World. Same year. Sorry, I'm going with Another World. Elf just doesn't make the cut. Tags. It's a rogue. It's a platformer. And my last tag is effort. It just takes so much effort to play and learn. And like, if you have this and you want to play it, it's going to take you a while. And it's going to take maybe some tutorial videos if someone's made them just to see how to use the inventory and what you're doing. I had no idea. I'd recommend this to someone to play on that website, I can't even say if you like this game, support the developers and buy it, because the developers could be dead for all I know, or drawing a pension or something. This game is pretty old. And they'll never see a cent anyway, because this company, whoever it is, has bought the rights to the Ocean games and is just milling them out for a way overpriced of what they are. $6, or I think it's $5 for this game. All these Ocean games are $5 across the board. We got this bundle for $1, and there was other games included with this bundle inside the bundle.
This bundle was at the bottom, and it's just like Ocean's bundle as part of 8 games.
Yeah.
But then the Ocean bundle itself had about 8 games.
Yeah, so it's like, you're not supporting Ocean, you're not supporting anyone, you're just supporting some person who purchased the rights to sell Ocean games for a ridiculously extortionate amount. So no.
Wait, and definitely get it on the cheap if you're interested.
Pico Interactive, that's who they are. Their wiki page says they have anywhere between, I don't know why there's not a number, but anywhere between 1 to 10 employees, which makes me think 1. You know? It's just a company just buying up old games and porting them and selling them back for twice the money, and they don't even work. There's no sound for this fucking game. And they're not exactly releasing patches for it, you know, and they're not updating it. So, yeah, they're selling a game that doesn't even work. Remorse.
I didn't even have to ask. Are you going to be playing this game in the future?
No. I'd like to see what it's like with sound, actually, but because even the
emulator thing
didn't have sound. So I don't know what's going on. I did check YouTube page and to see the gameplay, and that had sound. So maybe it's my computer.
Somebody's made it work.
Someone, yeah. Maybe they're playing on the original, actually on an Amiga.
Yeah, I would say I'm not exactly tempted by this amazing review that you've given. Would you recommend that I play it?
No, it's garbage, man. It's not fun. It's not fun. I can only see someone liking this if they're really hardcore platformer fans, retro fans, and like I said, it does have more than that. It's got like the inventory system, and there's something deeper to it, but I just don't have the time nor the patience to get into it.
Do you think, though, that this is another game, if you had played it when you were younger, and the nostalgia factor kicks in, that you would want to play it again?
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, like I said, in 91, if I'd seen this game in 91, I would have been impressed, because it is quite good for the time. It's definitely very colourful, and there's a lot going on, but I was never really a fan of these types of games to begin with. I'm not a big Contra or these kind of bullet hell games. I'm just not into them. So, yeah.
Buyer's remorse.